It is a period of Star Wars mania, as new movies, comic books, novels, and TV shows populate the system. Fueled by their love and passion for the galaxy far, far away, two exceptional geeks tap into hundreds of holocrons in order to bring you the knowledge and insight of all things Star Wars. Come and join them as they go inside the Force.
Welcome, everybody, to Inside the Force. I'm one of your hosts, David Cottingham, D. Cottingham21 on the Twitter. I'm here with Casey Cooley.
Hello.
Kryptonian1138 on the Twitter.
On the Twitter.
The Twitter. We are back here exploring the galaxy far, far away. That's the Star Wars galaxy. Thanks for joining us. This is the third week of Bounty Hunter Month.
Yes.
If you're just tuning in, I don't know what happened or where you've been.
What is your deal?
But anyway, we've been theming the last couple months. This month we're doing Bounty Hunters. The first week we touched on a very, very popular bounty hunter, Bosk, in episode 15, pilot of the Houndstooth. I keep wanting to say Hunter for some reason.
No.
Pilot of the Houndstooth. And then last week, episode 17, we did the Rodian bounty hunter, Greedo.
Yes.
Which I was surprised there wasn't that much on Greedo.
No.
He's like this big fan favorite, you know, but doesn't have much of a story.
No.
And we found out that he's not that great of a bounty hunter either.
No, he's bad.
Yeah. So anyway, we're continuing the bounty hunter month, and we've got a very, I would say, even more fan favorite now. She made her first appearance in episode 1 as a bystander.
Yeah.
Just standing there watching the Bounty, or the
Boonta Eve, yeah.
Was it Bounty Eve? Yeah. The Bounty Eve pod race competition that Anakin Skywalker was in, and that would be Aurra Sing.
Yes. Aurra.
This is where you clap here.
Yeah, Aurra Sing.
No, Aurra Sing, who also goes by the name of Nashta. She is a very famous bounty hunter now. Apparently what happened was when she made that appearance, a very brief appearance. I mean, honestly, if you turn to grab a drink, you miss her. She's standing there very high up watching the pod race, and apparently fans were. I made the mistake. I actually thought that she was an expanded universe character.
Yeah.
And they threw her in episode 1 because for some reason I thought I had heard of her before episode 1, but maybe I didn't. But anyway, she shows up there, and fans apparently start throwing questions around like, "Who is that? You know, what is she doing there? And who is she?" And apparently they had a backstory for her a little bit about her being a bounty hunter. So anyway, they gave her more expansion. She ended up showing up in a lot of comics, but obviously we are hitting mostly on whatever we would consider as canon or try to think that is canon. So we're going to hit on just kind of who she is, obviously, where she came from, some of her appearances. Her biggest appearances have been in the Clone Wars TV show, animated series, which we'll kind of touch on what episodes you can watch of her. But anyway, she was... her race is a little unknown. She's half human. Her mother was... what's the matter?
It's being loud.
Oh. Her mother was human, for sure.
Yeah.
Father, really unknown.
Yeah.
But obviously, from the look of her, you can kind of tell what her father looked like.
Yeah.
White-skinned, long fingers, you know.
Yeah.
She's got... she's bald. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if she shaves her head or not. But I don't
Who knows? Who can say?
Who could say? I don't know. But she was born on Nar Shaddaa, which is a very, very famous planet around the Star Wars universe. You talked about it appeared in...
the Knights of the Old Republic games.
Right.
I always get tongue twisted when I say
Knights of the Old Republic.
I just want to say KOTOR. Everybody calls it KOTOR. So.
Oh, right.
There you go.
KOTOR or
Yeah,
something?
KOTOR.
Yeah, KOTOR. So Nar Shaddaa, which is a moon of the planet Nalhutta, which is a very famous hut. I mean, that's where all the huts really are from. So this is a moon, and I didn't know, but maybe we'll eventually get into this. But it is a planet that is completely covered by a city, one city very similar to Coruscant. Actually, it's named Little Coruscant as well. Which is weird that I just never thought a city or any other planet would be like that.
Yeah.
But I guess they got the idea like that and just covered it. But unlike Coruscant, like the whole planet is filthy.
Yeah.
It's not like there's no like sprawling, government or
the whole planet's a slum.
Yeah, the whole thing's bad. So that's where she was born, 51 BBY. And that's another thing about her father that you can kind of pinpoint is there's stories about her during the Second Galactic Civil War.
Yes.
Meaning she was around 90 and still looked like she did during the Clone War. So she has long life.
Yeah.
Whatever species she comes from, it's obviously a lot longer than a human.
Mm-hmm.
So she has appeared in a lot of stories throughout the years. Obviously during the episode 1, during the Clone Wars. We'll see if she shows up anywhere between episodes 3 and 4.
That'd be cool.
I think it would be, if there's a Boba Fett movie or something like that,
Oh, yeah.
I think she'll definitely show up because, as we'll point out, she has a lot of affiliations with Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously, there's not really much appearance of her, obviously, or mentions of her during the original trilogy.
Yeah.
There's no, we're getting comics now and stuff like that that's taking place in between those movies, so maybe she'll show up then. But it'd be interesting to see if she shows up, in episode 7.
Gosh, that'd be so cool.
Or something, or a spin-off around that time, who knows?
And Jamie King could play her in the movie.
Yes.
That'd be pretty sweet.
She, even though she wasn't obviously played by Jamie King, she was played by a model, Monica something. I saw that in episode 1.
Yeah, I think it was Michonne. Like, she had some weird name.
Oh, yeah, it was like
Michonne.
Yeah. I thought it said Monica, but
it's something. It looked like it. Yeah.
But she, I got it right here. No, it is Michonne. Dang, Michonne. That's crazy. From Walking Dead.
It's the same person.
Michonne Aboragu was a model that played her in episode 1. But like you said, Jamie King, known for Sin City,
just a lot of kind of either horror films or
TV shows. She's been in a lot of TV shows.
Fan stuff.
Yeah.
Geek stuff.
She's a very big geek, Star Wars geek especially. So she voices her on the Clone Wars animated, or voiced her on the No More animated series, which I think she was in. I think I looked at it. I was going to name them all. I think she was in 6 episodes. So we'll get into that here in a minute. But the crazy thing, and I think the most fascinating thing that I actually forgot until I started researching her again, she's a former Jedi.
Yeah.
She's a bounty hunter that was a former Jedi. And that's why once you read about her stories a little bit, she kills a lot of Jedi. Mm-hmm. I mean, not many bounty hunters out there could actually say that. I mean, I guess I know Django maybe killed a few or something like that. Yeah. Boba maybe.
Yeah, he shot one. Too.
So
she killed several.
But she killed several because she has the ability, telekinesis ability.
Yeah, well, I mean, we never really seen her use it. I don't know how much she knows how to use it, but she always has that kind of force sensitivity, like guiding her.
And they dub her the Dark Jedi.
Dark Jedi, yeah.
Maybe that's what I'll call this episode.
The Dark Jedi?
I guess. I don't. Well, that could be anybody, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to call this one yet. But yeah, so she after being born on Nar she got picked up and sent to the Jedi Council. Mm-hmm. Now they did not fear, but they were worried about her because since she was born on a rough planet, she had some aggressive tendencies and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So she studied. They put her under a very what they would call reckless Jedi.
Yeah, it's like what would you call it? Like juvie for Jedi or something. I don't know what you call it, but yeah, for the troubled ones.
Right, and I want to make sure I get the name right because I was
name of her mentor.
Yes,
I can remember. She had a nickname too that they kind of called her, but I can remember her real name.
I just had it here a second ago. But anyway, she goes and gets and studies under this female Jedi, this female Jedi, and They called her. Yeah, actually, you said the former master. They called her the Dark Woman.
Yeah, I think somewhere in here they have her actual name listed. I have to look it up for you, but yeah, she has to have her own name.
She does have her own name, and
I'll look it up for you.
Yeah, I don't know why I had it here in front of me, but anyway, she trains under this Dark Woman, and eventually she leaves the order because she gets basically kidnapped by pirates as a Padawan. So she never makes it past Padawan. So she never actually becomes a Jedi Knight,
that's nice.
or anything like that. But she is a Padawan, and I want to say it was around the age of 9 that she gets kidnapped, and that's why she feels like, because they didn't really go after her, that she feels betrayed by the Jedi. And the pirates then obviously raise her.
Yeah, they kind of brainwash her too.
Correct.
Thinking that. But.
Correct. And I think that's when they kind of retrofit her with this like mechanical thing. Because if you notice her, it's so weird. She's got this antenna sticking out of her head. Yeah. Like straight out of her head. And I remember seeing that in the Clone Wars. Like, is that like, what is that?
Well, I mean, that was even in the Phantom Menace.
It was.
Yeah. And like,
but you don't really... Unless you really look, you can't tell.
It's just because Lucas had to have had some kind of backstory for her.
Yes,
thinking that. But real quick, her master's name is Anya Kuro.
Oh yeah,
she's the Dark Woman.
The Dark Woman.
Yeah, but Aurra Sing was like kind of juggled between, this gang to gang, whatever, kind of like the Hutts, then like these pirates, and then like these assassins. So everybody kind of had a hand in training her and brainwashing her into making her who she is today.
Yeah, so these pirates, it's called the Senex pirates. They equipped her with what's called a biro-computer that basically fed her additional sensory data.
Yeah.
I guess she just senses a lot more stuff. But anyway, it's just so weird to see that. I mean, just sticking out of her head. But that's what, if everybody's kind of wondering what that antenna is, that's what it is.
Well, it gets chopped off, doesn't it? Doesn't a part of it get chopped off in the Clone Wars?
Maybe it does. It might.
At some point, I remember part of it getting chopped off.
Yeah, like I said, she was 9 years old, trained by this Dark Woman who is known for training difficult apprentices. But anyway, like I said, 9 years old is when she gets taken from the Jedi Order, raised as a pirate, eventually becomes, just goes on, basically, obviously, just like all the pirates and or bounty hunters, eventually starts working for the Hutts. Mm-hmm. And so she travels around and just is living as a, and then the thing about it is she actually starts not only being a bounty hunter, but she actually becomes a Jedi hunter.
Yeah.
She starts hunting Jedis down because almost like a payback.
Mm-hmm.
And there's several stories of her hunting down Jedis on different planets. One being actually Tatooine, which basically leads her up to her being at that Bootiv pod racing race. So the appearances. So basically, that was 32 BBY, obviously. The appearance she has in the Clone Wars are mainly associated with Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she appears in season 1 at the very season 1, an episode called Hostage Crisis, which had a lot to do with, basically was headlined by Cad Bane, who was a bounty hunter introduced in the Clone Wars series.
He's awesome.
He is awesome.
The coolest voice. I love his voice.
Kind of like the Western type. He's got the fedora, hat.
Yeah.
So in the final episode of season 1, she shows up with Cad Bane. They basically they break into they're trying to steal a holocron out of the Jedi Temple, I think, right? If I remember correctly. And then she makes a bigger appearance in season 2. At the end of season 2, episodes 20, 21, and 22. It's like the three episode arc that's with Boba Fett. And those episodes, if you want to check those out, really good arc on that one. That was called Death Trap, was episode 20, and then R2 Come Home was 21, and then Lethal Trackdown was 22. So that's the one where Boba is trying to get revenge on Mace Windu.
Mm-hmm.
So you find out, basically Mace Windu finds out who he is, Boba Fett that is. And Aurra Sing is there with Boba Fett trying to help him. And then she shows up in an episode in season 3 called Assassin. And that is episode 7 of season 3. And then she also appears in episode 9 of season 3 called Hunt for Zero, and that's kind of a flashback scene that she was in.
Yeah, that's weird when the Clone Wars would do that.
They bounce back, and like I was just reading here too, there's not an official timeline yet of Clone Wars.
Well, that was one thing they were talking about. I remember at a celebration in Orlando a few years ago, they were saying like we are going to establish an official timeline.
Yeah, eventually they will probably come out with it, I guess. I mean, hopefully they will. All right, so what else we got on Aurra Sing?
Well, she makes some, like you said, she makes some appearances after the Clone Wars and after the movies, the original trilogy. But not much than we've already talked about. Like she goes back to Tatooine hunting for Jedi.
Yeah,
just all the same stuff. Nothing really important.
So what else we got? Traits and
personalities and traits and just some little trivia bits about her. But yeah, we kind of already mostly talked about how when she was really young, she had very angry tendencies, which, that's what put her on the path, put her with that one Jedi Master, the Dark Woman.
Yes.
And then she got kidnapped, and then she got taken and swapped and sold and all this stuff. And like I said earlier, each one of these groups of people who had a hold on Aurra Sing, they basically brainwashed her and made her into the ruthless killer that she is. And this had a huge toll on her, and basically they fed on her hatred towards the Jedi. And it's because of this she developed almost an irrational hatred towards the Jedi. Yeah, they didn't really come after her when she was taken and kidnapped, but she took it to an extreme, thinking like they abandoned her, and then the Jedi are the cause for all her pains and all this stuff, and that fueled a lot of her anger. So therefore, that's why she was hell bent on killing all the Jedi. And we've talked, that's basically her, her big, all of her personality traits, but some cool little things. She had a romantic interest, if you kind of know, in the Clone Wars. She was somewhat romantically involved with the pirate, I guess it was what it was, Hondo Ohnaka.
Yeah, the head pirate, basically.
Yeah, and they never talked about it in the Clone Wars, but it was always kind of hinted at there and all that stuff. And it's just interesting how, although she's this ruthless killer, she still had this somewhat twisted but sincere relationship with Boba Fett, like we talked about. Because Boba was a kid, when he was growing up in the early teens and all that stuff. Aurra Sing was basically his illegitimate mother, I guess. She kind of adopted him, so to speak, and helped raise him, although raised him to be a ruthless bounty hunter himself, but still nonetheless kept him from harm. And like there's a scene in Clone Wars where they're at Hondo's bar and Bubba's about to take a drink of, I guess it was like alcohol or something like that, and Aurra Sing stops him and all. It was kind of funny little moment. But so she took on that motherly role, but kind of sick and twisted way that it was. And little trivia, little facts about her. Yes, again, we don't know about her parentage. We know the mother, but we don't know the father. But it's really interesting. There's a quote here from Aurra Sing. I guess it might have been a book, or maybe the Clone Wars, I can't remember, talking about her father. And she says, my mother was this, and my father was, we don't know who he was. She calls him a ghost in the night. And she says, if I ever found out who he was, perhaps I'll be able to hunt him down and kill him. So she already has like a death kind of warrant out for her own father. So that's that. And talks a little bit about her powers and abilities. And we know that she was gifted in the Force, but wasn't really realized yet what her powers were. So she remained solely on her weapons and her skills, her bounty hunter skills that she was given. She has her signature dual trigger blaster pistols, and it says here that she actually collected some lightsabers that she killed from Jedi.
Yes.
She had several lightsabers, but it said that she kept them in suitcases. But I remember reading earlier that she actually had a lightsaber that she would duel some Jedi with sometimes if it ever came to that point. But that is, yes, that's something different. But that's, yeah, I mean, that's basically all it is. I mean, that's Aurra Sing for right there.
That's Aurra Sing.
Hopefully we'll get more of her.
Like I said, so there's no death date for her.
No.
So she's still kicking around out there.
Yeah, I think in the most recent thing that happened with her in the current timeline of Star Wars, she's like in prison somewhere. I think that's it.
In the expanded universe, I guess. Right.
Yeah.
So that's Aurra Sing. That's our third bounty hunter that we've highlighted. There hopefully will be more coming from her in the upcoming, animated series that they're working on, Rebels. That's possible, because there's probably a lot of stories with her, I'm assuming, that will pop up with Boba Fett, if ever they do. They say they're giving us a Boba Fett movie.
Yes,
depending on when that happens, as far as the timeline goes.
So very likely she can pop up in that.
I definitely feel like they established that relationship.
That'd be cool.
In Clone Wars. I think that would be really cool.
It'd be really interesting if she was in that movie and they killed her off in that movie. So therefore, that means everything's already changed.
That's true. A lot of that can happen.
Everything.
Yes, it would. All right, so
dropping iPads.
Yeah, that's my iPad. Let's go on there. All right, so let's see. Let's get into some brief news we got here.
Yes, again, kind of light on the movie news. All that remains is basically what's happening, what's coming up later this summer, or all these cons, all these festivals that are coming up.
It is con month.
The first one we are getting will be San Diego Comic-Con, which is this coming week. This week. It's this Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Wednesday through Sunday at San Diego Comic-Con.
I wish I was going.
I know. Next year. We have to go next year. It's got to happen. But basically just updating, kind of confirming who's going to be there. Lucasfilm and Star Wars will have a presence at Comic-Con. So be sure to watch. If you're not going, I would say watch G4, but that's no longer around because G4 would always cover Comic-Con. So keep, looking at your whatever news sources, because they're sure, hopefully there might be some Star Wars Episode 7. Oh, actually, no, it says here that there will not be any Episode 7 content, but there will be some Star Wars news in regards to probably new books, new comics and toys, and probably Disney stuff. And then later that month, July 26th to 28th, we have Celebration Europe, Star Wars Celebration Europe in Essen, Germany, where there we will most likely get some Star Wars Episode 7 news, where Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy will be there, and so will the original cast. Was Harrison Ford going to be there? No, but Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill will be there.
Ian McDermott, I think, is going to be there.
Yeah. A lot of other actors, as per usual with these conventions, will be there, and some other crew that will be in the new trilogy will be there. So I would be, and I think the whole attendance will be disappointed if there will be no Episode 7 news. And I mean, I'm not expecting plot reveals or anything like that just now, but a little something, maybe just a little whatever, talking from the cast, just saying like, we're working on it. If they've just said that, we're training, we read the script, it's awesome, kind of thing.
You know who I hope doesn't show up is JJ.
You okay?
Because I want him there next year.
Yes.
At Celebration 7 in Orlando, because even though that hasn't been announced yet, it's pretty inevitable that's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
And usually they announce the next conference at the end of this conference. So I think end of Celebration Europe, I think we'll get a date.
Yeah. Let's see. He's not doing any movies right now besides Star Wars. He might just be working on Star Wars.
Oh, he's working a lot on Star Wars, I'm sure.
I guess he won't be at Celebration. I mean,
no.
I don't want to I hope he doesn't show up like you said.
I mean, it might be a secret appearance like Lucas did last time.
Maybe it's just a televised thing. Just pre-recorded like, hey guys, I'm in London working on Star Wars. It's going well. Stay tuned.
That would be pretty awesome.
But so stick around for July 26th to 28th. Most likely, we think that we will get some Episode 7 news. And the third chance we can possibly get some news from Star Wars is the Disney Expo, the D23 Expo. I forgot. I guess it's just called Disney 23. I'm gonna look this up real quick. Disney 23, whatever. It's this expo that Disney holds every. I don't even know if it's every year. Dang, I should have done some research on this. But anywho, it's happening in August 9th through 11th. In Anaheim, California, there is a expo for Disney where it's not just Star Wars. They're talking about Marvel. They're talking about their other franchises they got going on.
Yeah.
But Star Wars related, they're basically what is officially confirmed. They're just talking about some new rides, and they're premiering some documentaries of Star Wars, all this kind of stuff, and just some nice little fun and events and on these little merchandising things. But it's rumored that there will be some cast and crew to appear. It's not confirmed, but I'm not really holding out for that. I'm holding out for Celebration Europe. So that's pretty sure that's where you'll get your main episode 7 news is from Celebration Europe. But that is here's a interesting little tidbit. I'm going to quickly bring this article up but to back me up here. But I read today, I guess a few days ago if you're listening to this, that Zachary Quinto, who played Spock on Star Trek,
Yes.
says that they are going to film Star Trek 3 next year. It will shoot next year. And it says here in this article that J.J. Abrams might direct it. But there's an interview here. I didn't watch the interview, but this is the kind of summary of the article here. It says from quote, Zachary Quinto says that Star Trek 3 should be filming, I suppose, next year. It's going to be made a lot quicker than the last one. That's the plan, although nothing is confirmed yet. And it says later on, Quinto says he's planning to direct Star Trek 3, despite the fact that it would directly conflict with the Star Wars schedule. Which I don't know. I mean, I guess it's from the interview here. I don't understand.
I don't think he knows anything about what's happening with that. Yeah. I don't know. I would be very, very surprised if he directed Star Trek. Producing, yes. Yeah. He can definitely sit in the office or, on set a couple times and show up. And he's going to be so, he's got, I mean, and obviously I think he knows it by taking the job, but he has so much pressure making this Star Wars movie. There's no way he can even think about Star Trek. There's no way he can think anything to do with that franchise. So he's going to be. I mean, the rumors right now is that it's going to start in February. I think episode 7's filming is February. Yeah, early. So you think that they would film February, March, definitely probably through April at least. I don't know if he's going to do it, but I know Lucas did a lot of pickups even after the fact. So I don't know if he will, but they got to leave May and June open for pickups probably. And then they got a year then, which I'm assuming they're already working on visual effects and stuff like that, animatics anyway right now, based on whatever script. I guess I don't even know if the script has been fully finalized yet. But
I think the script is a lot further along than what people know.
Yeah, I'm sure it was even worked on prior to they even announced.
Well, I know they had Michael Arndt way before they announced it. So yeah.
So we'll get some kind of news about that. I think pretty soon, but I just don't think there's any way that he can work. I mean, he was selling himself short, not only for Star Wars, honestly, but even for Star Trek. I mean. You just can't work on those type of movies to get the same time. You know what I mean? Plus, then all of a sudden, the worst thing it would be is things get bled into each other. Like, no, you should be saying Vulcan. Oh wait, I'm on the Star Wars set. Dang it! What I mean? You're gonna start making big old mistakes like that.
Is that coming out in 2015 as well? The next Star Trek?
It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be slated for 2015.
That is insane.
Yeah, that 2015 is shaping up to be a freaking incredible.
I won't got enough money to go to all these movies.
I don't think the Justice League thing's going to happen, though. No, to be honest.
Probably, maybe.
There might be another Man of Steel, though.
Man of Steel.
I think there definitely will be another Man of Steel 2015. So 2015, Star Trek, Avengers 2.
Star
Star Wars. Probably a Man of Steel too.
Another Bond film.
Yeah.
Probably. I would think some other Marvel like X-Men.
I was about to say,
like that.
did I hear that? Isn't that Independence 2 coming out?
Yeah,
2015.
I think so. Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot of other sequels. A lot of the big franchises are coming out. That yeah.
Wow.
Probably I think like Ant-Man or something else. I feel
there
like
will be another Marvel movie.
Some kind of Marvel
Avengers,
movie.
probably.
Yeah.
Because we're getting Thor this year and Captain America next year.
Yeah, I think also
and Guardians of the Galaxy. Actually, Guardians of the Galaxy is 2015. I think.
Really?
Or is that next year?
I feel like it's next year.
Is it next year? It might be next year.
That and Ant-Man somewhere around there. 2015, I feel like, or 14. I don't know.
I think Ant-Man. I think they said Ant-Man was after Avengers 2.
Okay.
Even though it's still part of Phase 2, I think. But I think it's probably going to come out later, 2015.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that stuff here.
What's happening?
This is Star Wars. What did come this past Wednesday last week? The comic Star Wars number 7, written by Brian Wood, illustrated by Ryan Kelly and Dan Parsons, and it is continually to still keep getting better. Yeah. This thing is really good. Yeah. If you can, try to pick it up. It's different. I keep saying this on our comics podcast, In the Comics, which is every Friday on the 21 Network. This book, there's a lot of Star Wars comics, and there have been a lot of Star Wars comics, and most of them obviously are all expanded universe stuff mostly. Right. There's comics based on the Knights of the Republic stuff. Mm-hmm. There's comics that happen after, the fall of the Empire. Right. There's comics not so much during the movies, but there's some that happened. Clone Wars stuff, right? But anyway, this is really the first time I know of that happens during the original trilogy. Like I said, this takes place 6 months after the first Death Star explodes. So this is 6 months after Episode 4 happens, and it kind of is. It's mainly about the Rebel Alliance trying to find their new base. What we don't know is whether or not that's Hoth. Obviously, it could be something else before Hoth. But anyway, this is it's really good because it shows this, especially this issue, without giving too much away. But the real cool thing what you see in here is you see a really good interaction with Luke and Leia on Tatooine back at the Lars homestead.
Yeah, that was really cool. I guess it was the first time he'd been there since.
It is.
Jeez.
And then what's really cool is you really see the struggle, the Sith struggle still with Master and Apprentice still, Vader and Palpatine. I mean, that is a constant thing. We mentioned this on the comics thing, how you never really saw that ever. Well, you kind of saw it in the original trilogy, only simply
at the end of 5 and 6.
Correct. Yeah, with Vader saying, help me take the Emperor down, we'll rule. But then the Emperor turns around and 6 is like, take your father's place, So you kind of see that that struggle, where the Sith are always trying to find the next apprentice or the next master, or the apprentice trying to be the master. But you kind of starting seeing this also in here, where Vader's got this. I mean, I don't even know. She's not really force sensitive, I guess.
Oh, he says the force is strong.
Yeah, so she hasn't been trained, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think she knew.
No, and he's taken this person and made her a Moff, and he keeps hinting that he's got plans for her. So there were things that happened obviously before this. There were things that happened that are canon in Force Unleashed with Starkiller. So you see Vader trying to attempt.
He's always doing that.
Always.
Like, even at the end of Episode 3, Anakin's talking to Padme, we can rule the galaxy together.
Yes.
And stuff. And so he's always trying to get rid of the Emperor. Like, I have my new powers. I think
they're I think they're always trying to, as you know from Palpatine telling the story about Plagueis.
Yeah.
He killed Plagueis because he felt like he was stronger now, and he went through several apprentices before Vader, and then so that's the struggle too that we went over. I think it was our second episode of this, right? With the rule 2, and that's the rule of 2 that Darth Bane started. Was, they're always trying to find the stronger person. The stronger person's trying to always be the master and whatnot. So this issue here was really good as far as that goes. Is kind of illustrating that. It's a really cool cover. It's got Vader on the front. But and then it's got, it's still telling the story of what Han's still running for his life on Coruscant, and they're still trying to find a mole. There's a mole that's happening that's kind of giving up the location of the rebels every time, and they're Luke and Leia are trying to figure that out.
Yeah, get a couple surprise appearances by a couple bounty hunters in there, or their ships.
I was about to say, the Hound's Tooth, which we talked about a couple weeks ago, and Slave One, Boba and Bosk are hunting down. They're trying, because that bounty on Han Solo, man, they're trying to get him. So that's the issue. So you guys should check this out. It's a really good issue. Really good series by Brian Wood. I think the art in there is fantastic.
I love it. Just flipping through the pages, then C-3PO comes in.
Yes.
It just glows off the page. I love it.
It's great. It's great. And it's very true to the way they look, you know what I mean? As far as Harrison and Hamill and Leia looks good.
Something interesting when they were on Tatooine and Leia found a little picture of Beru when she was younger. And I was trying to look at it, and I guess they modeled that picture off of how she looked in Episode 2 and Episode 3.
That's right.
So that was kind of cool.
That's her.
Connection between originals and the prequels.
Yeah. Yeah, really cool. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. So check that out. All right, so little trivia. Oh man, I was so mad last week. Got that wrong. We had Chad Perkins on here. Our second time we've had him on here. He got it. Him and Casey got that question right. I didn't. So Casey's in the lead right now at 9 and 7.
It's like soccer. We're we barely get a goal.
I know, and I'm at 8 and 8. So anyway, what we do is every week trivia. Obsessed with Star Wars, the 2,500 question book. Great book of knowledge of during the eras of the movies. Oh, this is question 62.
What?
Episode 1, which is fitting Aurra Sing.
Who was standing on that mountain?
Let's see. Very obviously the smallest numbered question we've ever had. So let's see. We'll get to 62, and here we go. During the Phantom Menace era, obviously. Okay, here we go. This pertains to Darth Maul.
Okie dokie.
Early in Darth Maul's training, his master taught him to control his fear by trapping him in a room full of what type of venomous creatures?
I know Adam Horn could get this. He read these books.
So his master, who we know as Darth Sidious, threw him in a room by trapping him with these venomous creatures. A, Kunons. D, Dinkos. C, Gradlax. Or D, Florks.
That's not real.
Yeah, those are the creatures. And I have not heard of any of them.
No.
So I thought it was going to be something I at least heard of.
Yeah, Dinkos, Gradlax.
Why couldn't they say Rancor for one of them or something? I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Or a Nerf herder.
I'm gonna go with C, I guess.
I'm going to C?
Just picking C. Just picking letters.
Okay, he's going with C, Gradlax.
Gradlax.
Oh, man.
If I get it right, it's just because of pure guessing.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do a pure guess. I'm either leaning towards... I'm just going to be different from you. That's the only reason. I'm leaning towards either Dinkos or Florks.
Dinko. It's just a Dinko.
Yeah. I'm going to say... Dinko doesn't sound as venomous, so I'm going to go with Florks.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to say Florks are venomous creatures.
I was going maybe Florks, but I'll go with Gradlax. Yeah.
And I'll pick C first. Okay, here we go. So here is venomous creature. C. Incorrect. And the answer is Dinkos.
Dinkos. That's why.
Dang it.
Dinkos.
Why did I go with Dinkos?
Dinkos.
2 in a row, man. I was leaning towards something, and I went with something else. Man. So I'm under 500 now. I am 8-9. Casey is now 9-8.
Dingoes.
I'll tell you what now. That's something I'll know now.
Dingoes.
When someone's like,
very poisonous.
there's a venomous creature out there. Dingo.
Dingo.
Crazy. All right, so that's our show for this week. Couple things I got to hit on before we let you go here. We are at InsideTheForce.com. You can listen to every show right there on the website. You can also subscribe to our iTunes. Subscribe to the show on iTunes. You can subscribe or use our RSS feed, which is right there on the website, through any Google Reader or Reader, RSS Reader that you may use. We are also on Stitcher Radio. We are on Intune Radio, which is an app also. Let's see what else we got. We got our Twitter feed is at Inside the Force. Keep up with that for all the news from us, as well as anything Star Wars related. Yep. You can follow that right there on the website, InsideTheForce.com. We are part of the 21 Network, a collection of podcasts for the fan and all of us. KuCast on Mondays, as well as the Ale Mary podcast, which are sports-related podcasts. Tuesdays you get Inside the Force. Wednesdays you get Popular Fanatics with Chad Perkins and Corey Cooley. The 21 podcast every Thursday. We are nearing our 100th episode on that show.
Dang,
we've got 90 episodes down. 21 podcasts.
Centennial.
That's our filmmaker podcast. The 3 filmmakers that own 21 Productions. We're on there doing that every week. In the Comics on Fridays. Myself and Russell Johnson will give you all the rundowns of all the comics that come out during the week, preview what's coming out next week, stuff like that, comic book news. We want to mention also, if you are, Casey, if you want to get your lovely fiance something, all you guys out there want to surprise your spouse, your girlfriend, your wife, whatever, check out Her Universe, heruniverse.com. Ashley Eckstein, that's her clothing line. Ashley Eckstein, if you don't know who she is, she voiced Ahsoka Tano on the Clone Wars animated series. She's going to have a booth apparently at Comic-Con, number 2913-F, San Diego Comic-Con next week. Her Universe booth, she's got clothing lines for all types, for all women, Star Wars, from Doctor Who to Walking Dead, Star Trek, sci-fi stuff, Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, really cool stuff.
Very cool stuff. Shirts, hoodies, pajamas, whatever. I mean, she's got it all on there.
There's one shirt I just want to point out. It says, she's wearing it. It says, Ahsoka lives. I love that.
Sweet.
Ahsoka lives.
If you want to help out the show here, go to our website, InsideTheForce.com, click on the banner. And buy some stuff for your woman in your life. That's Her Universe. Her tagline: Dream your world, be your world, flaunt your world. Yeah. And I suggest buying the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
they have some clever Star Trek ones too, but
they do.
Yeah, whatever.
And actually, I just saw that I got to do more research on this. We got to maybe talk about this next week. What this Course of the Force is. I've seen a video from it. I don't know exactly who's doing it.
Yeah,
I know Seth Green has been in some.
I think right now they're hosting a relay race. They have been this past week.
Yeah, but they have videos. They have these funny Star Wars videos that we'll talk about. Maybe we'll get into a little bit more. Anyway, last thing. I keep failing to mention, but we have a couple Star Wars fan films out there that we need to check out. RiseOfTheTroopers.com and TheUnknownDiscovery.com. Those are our 2 fan films we did a few years ago. We are in talks of working on a third one.
It's in talks. It's
we're negotiating.
Wheels are turning.
But please check that out. We need to start tweeting. We'll tweet some links out and whatnot for that. But episode 4.5, The Unknown Discovery. Episode 3.8. They're comedic. They're comedic, kind of in the Star Wars universe, though. You know, we follow these 2 troopers, TK221 and TK212, through some misadventures. It's great. Check it out. Rise of the Troopers is actually getting a lot of play on YouTube right now. So you can probably you search on YouTube right now, or go to our 21 Productions YouTube channel, youtube.com/21pro. You can check out all the there's some behind the scenes stuff for that. There's some trailers and stuff. So please check that out. We'll get that out to you guys. Anyway, thanks for listening. We got 2 more weeks. There's 5 Tuesdays in July. So normally we only do like 4-week themes, but now we got 5. So we got 2 more Bounty Hunters on the way. Next week we're gonna release. We're gonna mention also a little giveaway we got planned for Bounty Hunter Month. If you got a suggestion for Bounty Hunters, let us know. We're already leaning more towards like a Dengar and maybe IG-88.
Yeah.
Cad Bane may be a possibility.
Maybe,
I don't know.
actually, yeah.
We'll have to look at how much story each one of these guys. We
Right.
want to see how much. We don't want somebody who's just born and then dies 20 years later. That's really it. But anyway, I think IG-88 is real. I'm really interested in him being a droid and a bounty hunter. So anyway, so tune in next week for episode 18, the next bounty hunter that we talk about. Thanks for listening to the show, guys. For Casey Cooley.
That was never a condition of our agreement. No one's giving hand to this bounty hunter. Sort of.
Very
bounty
good.
Hunter. I couldn't think of any. There's no good lines out there for bounty hunters.
There were some quotes, though, from Aurra Sing.
There are, but they're all from, like, I want to stick with movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got you. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't actually know you were doing that.
Yeah.
But that's good.
All right.
Spoken by Lando.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Very famous line. Okay. I am David Cottingham. Thanks for listening, everybody, and may the Force be with you.
This has been a production of the 21 Network, a collection of weekly podcasts. For more great podcasts, visit 21network.com. To view additional content, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/21network. Follow us on Twitter at 21network for the latest news and updates. The 21 Network, for the fan and all of us.